So something I just want to talk about today is yesterday I talked about potential names for, or was it the day before that? Potential names for my god sisters. I don't like talking about them, I guess, because I don't feel I really know. I feel like um, I'm very, very old, hence I'm more focused on the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki is not something that I've ever really thought or known about. I I have no clue what it is, but I know that it's got my name in it, and I know that with the archangels, I feel like archangels are people who help the angels, so celebrities and singers who have fame and who help inspire the the angels, and therefore Anunnaki. It's got the ark in there. It's got the Anna in there. I think I might change the U to an A so that you know the difference between the sort of the biblical myth. I don't even know what the Anunnaki are. Is it in the Enoch books? I don't know where the I don't know anything about the Anunnaki. But I guess if I would change the U to an A, I would call that like just a group of gods that I have made. If I've made 70 timelines, I really bet that a lot of these gods are still alive somewhere. Likewise, I'm hoping that there are some people that survive this timeline and go on to do what I'm doing on different planets. And therefore, if you are, oh, is it just frozen? If I don't know if this is still recording, but yeah, if you are someone who's goes on to make timelines using my name and my language, I think the language often gets repeated because all the songs seem to point to something, and they sound good in English. Now, if you were to, and part of me waking up to who I was is to do with my name and seeing how many things my name is hidden within languages, and the fact that most human names have the word, or a lot of, not most, but a lot of female names have Anna in it. And it's almost like it's saying stuff like if a language was different, all these different names like Pano could mean something completely different to a name and stuff. But a lot of names have the word Anna in it, and I feel like that's done deliberately because these words are supposed to point to how Anna kind of lives inside people, and people are everyone on Earth. But yeah, if you had a different language, you would have to also change the different songs. So it does mean a lot of things different. So I would say the Anunnaki are just the gods that are using my name as when they come down to form their timelines, because it's a lot easier. I When it comes to the Pleiadians, I feel like that's out of all the galactic star systems, that is the only one that has significance. I don't know any other ones. I know there's the Leo signs, but that's like a swan, and people say it's a lion, and I have no idea why they think it looks like a lion when it looks like a swan. And all the other ones, I don't know. I don't have any connection with it. If I've got two god sisters out there, I could easily say, well, the Pleiadians is obviously one of them, because I feel like I have a kind of a tie to that, because I had a slight fascination to them when I was younger, and then realized that yeah, they're just way too far away. I couldn't remember how far they were, but I knew they were a long, long way away, and there was no chance that they're contacting here. So I kind of gave up on that idea very quickly. But the idea of them perhaps being somewhere was something, being somewhere closer maybe. But then I was like, well, if they're closer, then why is it referring to a star system that's so far away? So I'm just like, well, I think I gave up on that belief that Pleiadians were here a long time ago. And Gala, I know you've got Gaga, which is actually the devil representation, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like there is definitely another queen god on EMW. Now, if that is my sister, it's likely. I feel it's likely because I feel like it's very possible. And I also feel like I have, I'm not necessarily closer to her because I feel like I've been all over the place, all over the universe. So it's not, I'm not here because I like her more than I like Plea. But I feel like I'm here because maybe she was the one who found a planet that had dinosaurs on it for way too long, and she didn't want to make this timeline. So she asked or she called for me, and I came and said I would do it because the sun was quite healthy and stuff. But yeah, my experience here is been really, really bad. And I could understand why she would not want to do this. I don't know why I'm doing it. That's how bad it is. But I am here, and I'm not going to leave until the sun is well, either until Earth dies, and I'll see how long it takes for Mars to be ready. If Mars is not ready, then I'll probably just leave, and I'll probably leave the NW. To be honest, like I don't know, I don't feel that. I don't feel a connection with the NW. I feel like I'm here solely because why not? I'm going to be somewhere else, and I like hard challenges, and I think this one was a bit too hard for me. Um, I feel like I've only had 3 lives because the Matrix wouldn't allow me to come down until every soul that was made on Earth before I came to Earth had had the same number of lives. I don't know what this catch is or why there's a catch, but I feel like I should have come down a lot earlier, or maybe I just was seeing the hatred that people were having because they were dinosaurs for too long and I couldn't change them. And then I just was like, fine, we'll just make way too many humans, and then we'll just have some big war at the end that's going to fix everything. But I don't know why I would want to get people to ignore me for 12 years. I don't know why I would put myself through that. I don't know why this is happening. And I feel like the calculation is done by the number of souls on Earth. And, you know, if I could kill souls, then why wouldn't the answer be to just kill souls so that I wouldn't have to go through a 12-year tribulation? And I think the answer is that I can't kill souls. Only souls that lose the will to live, that really genuinely don't want to die, only they can die. So not people who've committed suicide. Sometimes you commit suicide because you just want something better, and this is not good enough. And if you commit suicide because you want something better, there is truth to that. You know, you can get something better if you die and get better family, or get if you wanted to be born in a country rather than feel like an outcast or have to worry about visas or stuff like that. Or if you're born the wrong race, or a race that you feel persecuted in, sometimes you would want something better, so you kill yourself not for because you actually want to die, but just because you want more than what you have. And I think spiritually you can sense that sometimes death is the best answer. But yeah, I feel like this thing has happened because of that. I mean, yeah, what am I saying? I feel like maybe the 12 years is because I could only have I can only live the number of lives that the average soul has. And I think I was focusing on the small number of souls at the beginning, juggling them, getting them to a state, adding more over and over time. And also the longer gaps you have, the more the the civilizations change. And you might have a horrible experience in the Roman time, but you might want to come back and experience something in between, the Middle Ages or the Tudor times or the Victorian times. Each period of time you come, the world is very, very different, and you should experience something different. I feel like on other timelines I have experienced other lives. I feel like sometimes before I come down as the sort of Christ life, I have perhaps 6 lives, or perhaps just I feel like I have a few more lives. And because I'm not going to be exposed as Christ, I can actually be born as a princess, or as a rich person, because I feel like sometimes religions are formed, but in some of the timelines I've done, I've actually had another life where I've actually formed a religion. So I've actually written a Bible about prophecies and stuff, and then people have later come across it and formed a new Bible rather than so maybe you'd have the old biblical Bible, and then you'd have someone come in the Victorian age to create like a like what Aleister Crowley did, only it would be actually written by me in my past life. I feel like I've done timelines where I've had a couple of lives, but I felt like I couldn't do that here because there were so many souls that if I would have come as my Christ life and on my fifth life, then every other soul, most souls on earth would also have had to have 5 lives, and therefore maybe that was the reason why I couldn't. That's why the world is so bad, because a huge number of people here, most people here are living an average of 4 lives, and people who are living 4 or 3 lives their quality, their evolved state, their ability to sense right and wrong, that it's just not there. A lot of people are Christians and they would insult spirituality, but I think in ways, spirituality is a more evolved, is a more evolved religion, and therefore Christians are usually or sometimes behind. But I guess that there's always difference when it comes to what role you are. Like if you are working in the government, you might tend to fall for the Christian religion because that's what the majority of the people worship. And if you're an angel with a name, one that links God the Father more so, then you might be tempted to. But just I think the bigger picture is that everyone has a different sort of life plan or a different role to promote different things. But I think the majority of religions here are suicidal based. It's about getting into heaven. It's about promoting a false god. It's about promoting spirits that aren't actually talking to you. But by doing that, you're creating, proof that the spiritual realm is the truth. And I'm I feel like that's and yeah, I've named Gala because Gala because it's like galaxy, and I can't think of any others. I know the Titans, but I don't think the Titans I'm sure are just like an American football group or something. So I don't think there's any. Is there any like galactic beliefs about the Titans? I have no idea, but I I don't know. I don't, even the Galactians versus the Galatians. I think the Galatians are actually like ice in England. I mean, in the world, ice. Isn't there like a glacier? Isn't that like a place in somewhere in the north or something? I don't actually know. I know that I've heard of the Palladian race, but when it comes to all the others, I don't know. I don't believe I've really heard of anything, or I haven't remembered anything. And I guess the Titans is kind of an obvious one, but I don't think it's an alien species, or at least I don't know if people think that it's an alien species. But because that name kind of links to Tinny, I'm going to link that name with Tinny. But and the Galactians, I don't think, is that something on Star Wars or something? I don't really know, but I like Gala as a name. So I'm going to. That's just where I've kind of come up with this idea. It is kind of false creating a religion that I don't really know about, but I don't think it's important. I think it's important to know that this is your world and this is the world that you need to change and shape. And I'm hoping that when I leave here, I don't have to come back here for a very, very, very long time. I think part of creating Earth as a god is to experience what people are doing and see what they're doing, and in ways hope that it's different. If I was creating the same timeline over and over again, I just don't see why I would continue. I would give up and say, okay, I've done this. So every timeline needs to be slightly different, and you allow people to make their own choices. Why? Because that's how the timelines get different, because people are making different choices and you're juggling a different number of souls. So I could see why I would take on a bigger challenge, because I would get a different type of timeline. And if I've done 70 before, then I don't want to create the same timelines that I've created. I want to create something different. But yeah, I've got quite a horrible feeling towards this planet now. Um, so, but I don't know. I'm finding it also strange how there's so nothing about Mother Goddess, and if you type in near death experiences where people meet the goddess, I'm not seeing anything. Why is this search engine on Google not there? It's almost like YouTube have such a high amount of power because they can control what people see, and there's videos that are just promoting shit and people believing that they're an alien from another space, another race, and then they've come to Earth with all these messages, or people that can believe that they're talking to this galactic federation. They're getting hundreds of thousands of views, and yet I'm bringing truth and I'm not getting any. So I definitely know they've done something to my account, and on one hand I'm angry, but on the other hand I'm agreeing with it, but I'm not, because I want people. My human self wants people to see it so I can wake people up, but I think my God self wants people to see it all at the same time and get a fair chance on things. But my human self is really wanting to know why people are not responding or watching, or how they would respond. My human self wants to know how they would respond, hence why I want there to be a time where I go into some sort of van and actually speak with these people and say, hey, you know, why are um, what's going on? Why? What would you believe this? Why wouldn't you believe this? I mean, it's highly likely that they're just going to continue like normal, like they hadn't met me, like I'm just some crazy person or something. But it'd be interesting to see if they do make rumors about me. There was, you know, there's something about Jesus coming back, but doing his miracles in secret. And I didn't understand that, because it's like, why would you do, if you've got power, why would you not just show everyone and tell everyone to go tell everyone else? Why would you keep it in secret? And I feel like I do have not real power, but I have knowledge. I have a huge amount of knowledge, and I want to talk to people in secret. Why? Because I want all the people that I talk to hear about me for the first time, and I want to know their real reactions as to why they wouldn't believe that I'm a god, and why you know, why would people go online and go on about, oh, God told me this, God told me this, and oh, there's this alien race species, and this is the message, and I was this and I was this. Why would they do this? And yet say that what I believe is only my belief, and that is not the truth, and yet what they believe is the truth. I mean, I'd like to know how what level of their rejection they're at, and I feel like I can't get that, because I don't feel like anyone's watching my videos, because YouTube's blocking it, and it's really, I hate them for doing this. But I'm noticing that they're not promoting anything about a goddess, and I don't know how I really feel about that, because I feel two different ways. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I mean, it's them promoting all these lies and false religions is going to encourage people to commit suicide, and I guess I want that. But then I'm like, do I really want that? Then technically, I don't want everyone to leave. So, um, yeah,